welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. We are here to talk about comics today. Something we don't really get to talk about too often as we get into the new year. And if this works, maybe we'll make this a weekly segment. Who knows? If this works, because the thing is, comics are an expensive hobby. And there needs to be a certain threshold of listenership hit to make this viable, because I bought 3 comics for the sake of this segment. I picked up Timeless #1, Avengers Forever #1, and Devil's Reign #2. And if this works, then, you need to get over a point where it's not, putting me in the hole to do this. It's like $15, $16 to get these comics. Now, these are 3 of Marvel's big initiative releases of this year, with Devil's Reign being the big event. It is the Avengers teaming up to take down Wilson Fisk as who is the mayor of New York. Timeless is a mini-series about Kang the Conqueror, and Avengers Forever is a Multiverse Avengers story with variants of, characters we know. So let's start with Timeless, because Timeless is surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be. I thought Timeless was going to be more of a look at, it is kind of a primer to Kang the Conqueror, because Kang is going to have a large role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we can't sit here and pretend that there isn't synergy in mind when it comes to what's going on here. So Timeless does serve that way, but at the same time, it also stands on its own story, because it tells what the story is there's this historian who's writing about Doctor Doom, and Kang the Conqueror sees him and is like, well, you think Doom is the best, is the best villain and the most significant villain in human history. I disagree. I think I am, I being Kang the Conqueror. And Kang goes, now, if we look at, who, Kang is, Kang has been seeing himself in a war with Victor Von Doom, and because of that, he's like, no, it's an ego thing. And I think that Kang really does have this massive ego that they really do lean into in this. And it really does explore who Kang is, why Kang does what he does, and what's going on. What does Kang have at his disposal, and what's happening. It's not so much Kang as a hero as much as it is Kang as a begrudging, it is in my best interest to do this because it is for the safety and security of myself more than anything else. And a few of these comics are intertwined, like the Deathlocks and all of that, that are there also in Avengers Forever. It's a really cool idea where it explores the idea of Kang does things to try the challenge, to prove that he can do it. Not just, I'm not here to kill for the sake of killing. I'm here to kill because it's part of the threat to, it's part of the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's part of the thrill of proving I can do it. And it's a really interesting look at the character, and a dissection of the character. So it's very interesting and worth your time to read. I think the weakest of the 3 that I picked up was Avengers Forever, which is, it's #1, but it feels like there's definitely something missing. That said, I'll take team-ups of Robbie Reyes and Deathlock. That to me is entertaining enough to warrant reading the book. But I don't think that there's enough here to, what's what I'm looking for, to carry a series. I don't think that, watching Tony Stark as Ant-Man, but functionally the same character, but with a shrinking suit, is interesting enough. I like the world, but the world feels kind of like a new version of Battle World from the 2015 Secret Wars. And it's cool, we're going to get some new versions of characters we already know, but I don't think it's enough really to carry it all the way through. The best of the 3 is Devil's Reign, because Devil's Reign is, deep and intricate and more interesting as a topic. than either of the others. Number one, I like the idea of Wilson Fisk defeating the Avengers by using by using political power and all of that. Where it's not him beating them into submission, it's putting them in the situation. I like that. I like the fact that he has taken Kilgrave and turned him into a weapon, and he's going to use that to brainwash people into voting for him. I love that idea. I like the idea that the Avengers are going to beat him not by fighting him, but by running someone against him. Originally it was going to be Tony Stark, but then Jessica Jones, and everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like an election between two rich guys, this is not going to end well. Like, well, we'll put Luke Cage up against him, and I'm like, that's smart. And I like that idea. I like the idea that Io Octavius is gotten control of the Baxter building under Fisk, and is using that, to his advantage to build things. There's also the idea of putting the heroes in jail and having them contend with that and fight villains, depowered. It's a great idea. Ben Reilly's Spider-Man is being captured. It's all really cool stuff across the board, and this is the only comic out of the three. Well, Timeless 2 I'll continue reading, but Devil's Reign is the only one that I'm like, I need to see the next one right now. But yeah, especially if you like Daredevil, if you like Kingpin, if you like all of these characters, Devil's Reign is the best. I would go out on a limb and say it's the best Avengers event in a while, because a lot of them haven't been very good lately. This is one of the strongest. So definitely worth checking some of these out. I wouldn't get Avengers Forever. I don't think that what Robbie Reyes is doing there is enough to carry buying the book on a monthly basis, but I do like what's going on in Devil's Reign, and I do like what's going on in Timeless, even if Timeless really is kind of just a shameless thing to be like, oh, here's who Kang the Conqueror is, because we're going to see him fuck up Ant-Man in 2023 in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and he's going to be an Avengers level threat. Like, we want to give you a soft introduction to him. So, but yeah, Devil's Reign, pretty solid. Timeless, pretty solid. Avengers Forever, not so much. I'm not dissing the art either. And the thing is, it's like, if you give me a Ghost Rider and the Ghost Rider is done well in the comic and it looks cool, you have me hooked right there. I just don't think leading with Tony Stark as, Ant-Man is necessarily the draw for me, at least, as a reader. So we'll wrap up there for today, and we'll be back with more movies and stuff starting next week. So until then, have a great rest of your week.